Today and tomorrow we're going to be making perfect pumpkin bread mix. And we've done recipes before, right? We've always got the ingredients and dumped everything together. But we've not made something prepackaged, right? So this is perfect pumpkin bread, gingerbread. So all of you have your recipes in front of you. So we're going to go over what we need to write down and what we're going to need. So look at your recipe, and we are going to be writing down what we need. If you look on your ingredients right here, your recipe, what is the first thing that it says, April? Look on your recipe. What does it say?
21 ounces
of what?
pumpkin.
Gingerbread mix. That's this right here. Okay, so you're going to dump this into what? What kind of equipment are we going to need for this? If it's pumpkin bread, what are we going to bake it in? A bread pan. So we're going to go over this. So first of all, we're going to write down all the ingredients, and then the back side has that. So for the first item you need is what, Brent? It's a gingerbread mix, right?
Yeah.
So write pumpkin gingerbread mix. And how much of this do you need? You can just put one package. What is the next ingredient that you see on your recipe? How much? What is the next thing? Butter? Is that what you said? How much butter do we need? You can point to it. You have this point to it how much it is. Until this is in. How much is it? 1/2 cup. So for your quantity, 1/2 cup. Okay. What is the next thing, Cole? Can you look at your recipe? What do you have?
2 eggs.
2 eggs. Good job, Cole. So we're going to need 2 eggs. What is the next thing that we need?
1 cup of pumpkin.
This is what the pumpkin puree is. It's the same thing that you'd use as pumpkin pies, which we're going to be making next week. We're going to make little miniature pies on Wednesday for you to take home for your family. So we're going to get pre-made crusts or make those little tin foils, and then you're going to make pumpkin pie. So you need puree. 1 cup pumpkin puree. Then what is the last thing that we need, and how much on your recipe? Well, what is the last thing that it says? 1/4 cup water. We need water. Okay, make sure that you're putting your name up here and you write the recipe name. Perfect pumpkin bread mix. And you don't have to worry about the magazine or the page that you got it from. Make sure that all of these are that you have written down. Now flip over your sheet because now we have to go through what we're going to need for our recipe before we cook it and bake it. So what is the first thing that we're going to have to do? How do you make this pumpkin bread mix? What is one thing that you're going to need? A big piece of equipment that you can't make it without it. What is the first step on your recipe? What does it say? You need the oven, right? And what are you going to do with that oven? Instead of measuring a measuring cup, what are you going to have to preheat your oven to? April, what does it say on your recipe? Preheat oven to what degrees?
350 degrees.
Can you go in the kitchen and preheat the oven to 350, please? Okay. The next thing that you're going to do is, can somebody read me step 2 in our recipe? Cole, can you read step 2? Okay, so what are we going to put our pumpkin in? What do we need? What are we going to have to put this in? Can I dump it on the table?
Yeah.
No. What do I need, Cole? What do I need to put it in? I need a bowl, right? Okay. We need a bowl. What else? How are you going to mix it? How are you going to mix this? Devin, how are you going to mix it? With a spoon? So you need a spoon. You need a big one, right? Okay. What else are you going to need? What else are we going to need? It says, mix until smooth, pour into slightly greased loaf pan. What else do we need? We need a bread pan, right? So you need to put bread pan or loaf pan. How are we going to grease that? Devin, how are you going to grease that? What do we have in our cupboard right now that we can use? Can you go grab it? What do we use usually when we prepare our baking? Go grab it from the cupboard. Go with Mrs. Sweeney and she'll show you 2 options. Because we are going to make this today. Cooking spray. Alright? Alright? Brett, can you go grab the loaf pan out of the kitchen, please? Make sure that you guys have all washed your hands, too. Go wash your hands. Paul, go wash your hands. Devin, after you wash your hands, grab a bowl and grab a spoon that we're going to need. We're going to be washing our hands and getting things ready for our lesson. Rinse really good, Cole. Throw them away. You only need one. Throw them away. Brent, can you open that pumpkin puree, please? Grab 1 cup. April, grab a measuring cup. 1 cup. Other one. 1 cup. 1 measuring cup and a 1/4 cup. 1 whole cup and a 1/4 cup. Might be a white one. 1/4 cup and 1/2 cup. April, you need to grab it by yourself. And then grab 1 cup. You need the 1 cup. Good job. Good job. Put the other one away, April. Put that one away. Good job. Right. Use a can opener. Open pumpkin through. Grab that pumpkin. Grab the pumpkin, Devin. Pumpkin. Can of pumpkin. And open it. This meanie's in the video.
What? Stop.
Sorry. Where's the can opener, Devin? How are you going to do that? Be a video. Yeah, plug this in.
Oh, hi, bunny.
Yeah, lift it up first. Lift this up. Let's stick that underneath.
She might hurt you.
Hold it flat and then shut it. Press. Okay. Grab a spoon and then we slip it off. Careful. So grab a spoon so that we can scrape that on the top. And throw the lid in the garbage. And grab a spoon. A big spoon. Unplug it. And then put that away. Put that on top of there. We're going to have to follow our recipe. So we need 2 eggs. So somebody needs to go get 2 eggs out of the fridge. And we also need a bowl and something to whip those eggs with. So grab a fork and a bowl. We'll get a smaller bowl than right. There you go. Good job, Cole. Small bowl, guys. And a fork. We need a half a cup of melted butter.
Don't mess with her.
You tell them, April. Okay. Crack the eggs and put it in the bowl.
Dirty.
Yeah, this is gonna be like.
You can't use a dirty ball. What's that April watch?
Go in here, April. Crack it open. Okay, hold on. Paul, are you gonna crack an egg? Come here. Crack an egg. Crack an egg on the table. Here.
Watch what you're doing.
Watch what you're doing. Eyes and hands. Open it up. Throw your shell away. Good job. Careful. Mix. Mix. Both hands. Hold the bowl. Hold the bowl. Fast, Cole. That's it. Okay. Want to have April try it? Okay. Here, Devin. Scoop 1 cup. Scoop 1 cup of this pumpkin in here. 1 cup. And Brett, we'll get a quarter cup of water, please. Really pack that in there. Paul, come on. No, Paul. You want to spray? Spray. Spray.
We're not quite sure where to land, but we'll find out.
Careful.
There's Pam.
Careful. Look. Watch what you're doing. Spray. Spray.
Push the button.
Push the button. Keep going. Keep going. Again. Good job. And have fun, Paul. I'll put it in here. Okay, we need a half a cup. So if we look here, a half a cup is actually 8 tablespoons. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Brett, you need to put this in the microwave for less than a minute. So go put this in. Yeah, glass bowl. You're gonna have to be very careful because it will be hot. Put that in there. Slice it up a little. So take the wrapper off and put it in there. Okay. Kind of mix that together. Oh, can you use a fork? Should you use a fork with that, or should you use a bigger spoon? Bigger spoon. Come on. That's what I done. Put it in. Put it all in. And these are the best things about mixes is because they're all in one usually. Woo, careful.
Smells good.
Smells good. We only have a little extra pumpkin left, so should we dump it in, guys? It'll be moist. It will be really nice. Smells good.
I didn't know. Paul, come here.
Well,
Pumpkin pie filling and pumpkin puree were two different
things.
I don't prefer pumpkin. Not a pumpkin, but I like pumpkin. This type of pumpkin stuff. I don't like pie or something. So I learned it.
Well, can you put these away in? Careful. Both hands. Both hands in the fridge. Both hands in the fridge. So you want to make sure that, I think that's probably way done. Careful, use a hot pad.
What are you kids doing?
Smells good, doesn't it? It is really, really, it's really has a nice spice. When we're mixing, you always have to scrape the bowl with this. Get all the extra stuff out. We haven't put the butter in yet, but Brett's coming with the butter.
Double buttering.
So Brett, gently pour that all over the top.
I don't get top.
Spread all around.
This is Mr.
Devin, want to start first? Well, switch spots, April.
Okay, can I start for anyone?
You can too.
Okay.
So you stir like 5 times, go around. Make sure you get the sides really nice. Look at how nice that made. Make sure you're scraping the bottom of the bowl, because there's usually mix on the bottom of that too.
Feel good, Cole? It smell good? It smell good?
That'll be really, really good. Devin, want to try the last spoon? April, want to throw this away? That in the sink? Careful. Can you throw this away for me, please? Brett, want to put this back in the cupboard? Okay. Now, Devin, want to pour that in here, please? And really scrape the bowl really nice. Smell it. It's really good. Scrape the bowl really good. On the sides. Brett, why don't you do the rest?
Get out of there, Brad. You don't want to waste any. You want every morsel of that bread.
Yeah, seriously, you do. You see how much this is left? You gotta scrape it. Really Here. I'll do it.
She has to learn how to do it too.
She did already. Here, here.
Oh.
Here. Scrape that. I'll hold it and you scrape it. It usually works better with a spatula, but we don't have a spatula. We are doing that. Scrape the rest of that in. Now, did we make sure that we did everything?
That red's not working.
It's not. Good job. Here. No, right, because this is what it looks like right now, but we need to, listen, it does. What you have to do is you have to smooth it out. Okay. And then when you smooth it out, it looks much better. So how long do we have to put this in the oven for? What did our directions say on our recipe? What did it say? Okay, tell me what it says. What does that say? Not 10 minutes. It says bake for how long? 350 for how long? After it says here. How many minutes? Not 10 minutes. Try again.
55 to 65 minutes.
55 to 60 minutes. So this is going to go into our lunch hour, but that's okay because we're making to eat it during 5th hour. So get the timer, April, out of that basket. And we're going to set it for 55 minutes. Okay?
Take your time.
Okay, you're going to have to set it for 55. So the minute, keep going to 58. Okay. Keep pushing.
No,
Get to 58. Devin, can you go put this in the oven? Open the oven.
Don't burn yourself now.
Put it halfway in the middle, and then put it lengthwise. Put it the other way. There you go.
Ow!
I know. Shut it. You set the timer, April?
It's not a right time.
All right.
I know.
350. I checked it. Okay. Now we have to clean up as well, so we're gonna have to do some dishes. So why don't we clean out the tables first, you guys? No, that needs to be thrown in the garbage. Okay. So why don't you guys come over here? We'll clean up the table, and then we'll keep going with this. Okay, April. Clean up all the table. So clean up the table. Devin, grab 2 things, bring it in the kitchen. Those still, you still need these. So this is going to be part of your homework. We have to wipe off this table again. Brett, can you get off and wipe it off?
It was bigger than senior day. So eat that.
Devin, you can wipe off the table then. Brett. Nice try. Keep going. And you can go behind them. There's pumpkin on there.
No, you stay with it. Oh, it's like socks.
That's actually good. Make sure that when you're wiping the table, you make sure that you get everything in the middle, so you're not putting everything on the floor. Okay? Go ahead. Devin. There you go, April. Get that side. Devin, dry it off. You guys can sit on these other tables too.
Oh, I can dry it off.
Okay.
Come on, stop.
Good job. We'll put those, throw that in the garbage and then we'll put that in the sink. Okay. And you guys sit down because we're still going to go through this stuff. Okay. Okay, you supposed to come on, Clark. Come sit down.
April's a temperamental man.
April, you can sit up here. Well, you guys can sit there, separate. Either one of you sit here or one of you sit there.
Nope.
Okay, so what else did we need? We used a little more than just this. What kind of measuring cups did we use? Do you remember?
Nope.
April, what was one of them? 1 cup, right? You need 1 cup. You also, how much water did we put in? Look at your recipe.
D4
A 4 cup. And what else did we use? What other things did we need for our recipe?
We didn't use oven.
We use the oven, yep. For mixing. And a big one. And a 4th cup. So when you look at this recipe, there's also some information about calories and nutrition. Let's look at this more closely. I'm going to zoom in. Okay. When you look at this, how many serving size? It says serving size is 2 tablespoons. How can you even cut a piece of bread and have 2 tablespoons? Isn't that kind of weird? A little bit. So it says servings per container about 17. So when we slice that pumpkin bread, you should get about 17 slices. But how many calories are in this recipe? How many calories does it say? 80 calories, right? And how much fat is there in here?
I can't see.
It says 0 grams. What about cholesterol? Sodium, Brent?
I can't read that.
Look on your sheet.
I don't have a sheet.
Come here and get your sheet. Get up, lazy bones. Oh, you're lazy bones today.
Wow.
What does that say?
And
No.
turn around. Sodium
Yes. How much
is
sodium?
10.
Oh, right here.
I give up on that. It's 10.
Right here, Brent.
Where?
You're looking at the wrong one. Right here, sodium. Under cholesterol. The 3rd bold thing.
Oh, 230.
230 milligrams. So when you look at this, it's a pretty healthy thing. So what was the first thing that we had to do in our recipe? Looking back on our recipe, what was the first thing that we had to do? Brent, what is the first thing we do when anytime we bake anything in the oven? What do we have to do? To bake anything,
Check it.
you have to what? The first step on our recipe says what? Preheat the oven, and what degrees do we do it? 350. We have to bake that for 55 to 60 minutes, right? So you guys are gonna go to lunch, it's still gonna be in there, and then during 4th, 5th hour, then we can take it out and we'll let it cool. And then 6th hour, you guys can have. That sounds like a good. Okay. I'm gonna hand you your worksheet, and that'll be your assessment. Some of you have an accommodated worksheet that gives you choices, but I will do that at this time. We also need to clean up the dishes, so, yes. So we're gonna go in the kitchen.
Pass.
You need to do 3 dishes each.
I pass.
No. Go on, Devin, you'll be first this time.
Here
we go. Let's go. Brent will be first then. Come on, Devin.
Here we go.
Lock me in here. You guys are mean.
3 dishes of Lusty Lou.
3 dishes. So when you do dishes, you should really rinse off your
It's
dishes.
even warm.
It was really warm. And then you have to put cold water in. Okay, rinse them off first. Rinse anything that's in there.
Yeah, probably blown
This water takes a long time to get from downstairs upstairs. Okay. There you go. You guys need to learn how to use hot water or warm water.
That's choppy.
That's cold. Devin.
Get ready. April has it all on.
Wash 3 dishes. All you gotta do.
Oh, that's nice.
That's all good. Let's trim it off. Okay. Make sure that you get them really nice and clean. We don't need dirty dishes, do we? No.
Who's talking over there?
Remember, when we rinse the dishes, we don't use cold water. We use warm water or hot. No cold water. That's what you're going to be testing on.
I highly recommend cold water.
I highly recommend that you don't.
Oh yeah, I'll do warm.
Yes, warm.
Not hot. Warm.
And stack them really nice so that we can put other dishes in there. Good job. Good job shutting the water off in between. Water. Seven. Leave your classmate alone. Hold your ground, April.
Oh.
Here, April. Good job. That's pretty good. That's probably enough of those. I think they use it for apples yesterday. Good job. Nice signature. Okay, April, your turn. Devin, you can come over here. So you're over here right now. Take your dishcloth and wash your dishes. Go all the way around the side, April.
This is cooking fast, not how fast.
It's kind of both. Take this dish right like this.
Just close your eyes, Brent. Sounds other.
And then you kind of
Close your eyes.
push it around like that.
Just close your eyes, Brent. It sounds other.
There you go, April. I think that's all clean. So rinse it off and let's see if it's clean. Not cold water. You gotta go warm water.
You don't want to burn her for 4 little fingers.
She won't burn. See, if you test the water before. Right? Remember, you are being videoed in appropriate numbers. Okay. Is that clean? You look at it. Pretty good. Just put it in the dish rack. Remember, you gotta face them. Not that way. The other way. Okay. Turn your water off in between. You gotta turn it off. Turn that off too.
Oh, you gotta have some cold water in it. Wow.
It's a lot easier if you soak some of your mixing bowls that you did.
Man, I was gonna wait.
Okay, keep going, April. That's good. You used water. So grab your hot, turn it on, rinse it off, put your dish rag over there. Put it in the dish rag. Next one. Try to do this big one. That big one. So really get that dish water in there and then put it in and use that water and swish it. And then turn your bowl. Keep turning your bowl. Wash a little bit and then turn the bowl. Because it's going to be a little bit greasier because we use butter in there, right? So it's going to be a little slick.
Right.
Devin, you're next. Okay. Now use your warm water, not cold water. Grab your dishcloth out and rinse it out. Okay. Make sure you get all the suds off. Go on, more suds. Make sure you look at it. And then some. Okay. You need to know how you use that. So put it in the dish rack. There you go. Go ahead. You go to lunch. Turn your water off. Turn your water off. Okay. Good job. This is the kitchen that I cook in. So we have a very small kitchen, but it's definitely good for life skills. So part of their assessment was also how to wash dishes, and a lot of them have been using cold water. So that is one of the informal assessments that I'm using. They also will have a worksheet that they're going to complete that we just reviewed, but some of them will be circling the choices of their ingredients and things like that. The differentiated instruction will also, I will include those worksheets. There's 3 different versions of the worksheet that I did. So here's the dishwater and our equipment. There's a tour of my classroom, the stove, and then also the sink. And we also have, what I had them do is that they had to actually go in and get their ingredients out of our cupboard and also out of the fridge, because that is what part of their assessment was that they could gather the ingredients for the recipes. So I hope you enjoyed my lesson, and this has been the perfect pumpkin bread mixing recipe lesson, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon, Dr. Bragg. Goodbye.